under a sky the color of ripe mangoes. Bells rang through the kingdom of Ekeora. In the royal courtyard, Queen Grace lay exhausted but joyful. Mother Ife, the palace midwife, placed a tiny coral bracelet around the newborn's wrist. "These red beads," the queen whispered, "carry the light of every woman who came before you." King Daniel knelt beside her, tears shining. "We will name her Zina, our treasure." Palace drums boomed. Town criers hurried through red clay streets shouting, "A princess is born, a blessing upon Ekeora." Children danced. Vendors tossed palm wine into the air like glittering rain. For 8 bright years Zina grew. Wherever she walked, feeding doves, chasing butterflies, laughter followed. Servants set flowers open wider when she passed. Even stern soldiers softened at her smile. But on the eve of Zina's 9th birthday, Queen Grace fell ill. A strange fever scorched her skin. Healers burned herbs and prayed, yet nothing cooled the heat. One dawn she called Daniel and Zina to her bedside. "Remember," she told her daughter, voice thin as smoke, "true beauty is light inside your heart. Guard it." With one last breath, she was gone. The kingdom mourned. Black cloth draped every doorway. Drums beat slow and low. King Daniel wandered the corridors like a hollow drum himself, clutching memories that slipped through his fingers. Then, during a rain-soaked evening, a traveler arrived. She was tall, cloak shining like wet obsidian. Her name was Amara. She bowed with flawless grace. "My deepest condolences, Your Majesty," she said. Her emerald eyes seemed to drink the torchlight. Mother Ife frowned, sensing cold wind where none blew. "Beware the stranger who casts no shadow," she muttered, but grief blurred Daniel's caution. Within weeks the lonely king found comfort in Amara's delicate smiles. They married beneath lanterns and silk banners. Yet even the palace parrots fell silent when Amara passed. Zina clutched her coral beads, uneasy, that stormy wedding night. Thunder cracked and servants heard a single scream echo through stone halls. At sunrise, guards discovered King Daniel lying lifeless on the marble floor, a black rose on his chest. Amara sat beside him, tearless eyes shining. "The king's heart failed him," she announced. "For the sake of order, I accept the crown as your new queen." Courtiers, afraid, bowed. Within days, Amara's first decree sealed young Zina in the North Tower for her own protection. Iron bars replaced silk curtains. Kind maids disappeared, replaced by silent guards. From her tiny window, Zina watched sunrises she could not touch. At night she traced the smooth red beads and whispered, "Mother, show me light." In a hidden chamber below, Queen Amara stood before a cracked obsidian mirror. Shadows flickered inside its glassy depths. A thin voice hissed, "A child wearing red beads, hold your end." Amara's lips curved like a cutlass. "Then the child will never see tomorrow's dawn," she whispered, and the mirror pulsed with wicked approval. The first dark seed of terror sprouted in Ekeora, and the kingdom's light dimmed. Moonlight spilled through the tower bars like silver chains. Zina lay awake, twisting her coral beads, when the iron door creaked open and the scar-cheeked guard stepped inside. He set down a wooden bowl of thin porridge, then glanced around as if fear might be hiding in the shadows. "What is your name?" Zina whispered. The guard hesitated. Dayo, she said, voice trembling yet firm. "Please help me leave this cage." His eyes flicked to the barred window. "If I free you, Queen Amara will hunt us both." "Then hunt with me," Zina pleaded. "Help me live." For a heartbeat, Dayo wrestled with his guilt. Finally, he produced a folded scrap of parchment, an old map of hidden corridors. "Meet me at the stairwell after midnight," he murmured and slipped away. At the stroke of 12, Dayo unlocked Zina's cell. Together they padded down a spiral staircase thick with cobwebs. In the basement, he pressed a loose stone. A secret door groaned open, revealing a tunnel that smelled of damp earth and forgotten time. "Follow the torchlight," Dayo said, handing her a small dagger. "Beyond the west wall lies open land. Head north until you see the dark trees. That is the Forbidden Forest of Ogbono. Soldiers fear its spirits." They reached a rusted iron grate. Dayo heaved it aside and helped Zina crawl through. Cool night air kissed her face for the first time in years. Will you not come? She asked. My path of atonement lies here, he answered. Live, princess. Make the crown worth wearing. Zina nodded, tears shining in moonlight, then sprinted across dew-soaked grass toward freedom. She ran until dawn gilded the sky. Exhausted, she knelt beside a clear stream, cupping water to her lips. A gentle voice drifted through reeds. Drink slowly, child. River spirits dislike greed. Zina spun. An elderly woman cloaked in indigo emerged, leaning on a carved staff. White chalk symbols dotted her cheeks. Who are you? Zina asked, clutching her dagger. I am Mother Ife, once midwife to Queen Grace. She smiled. I have waited for you. Shock widened Zina's eyes. You serve my mother? Yes, and I promise to protect her light. She pointed to a dark line of towering trees. Come, the forest hides friends. Inside Ogbono, the air hummed with ancient magic. Bioluminescent pods glowed blue along twisting paths. They reached a clearing where warriors practiced beneath lanterns of woven palm. A tall woman with braided hair and twin swords stepped forward. Strays aren't welcome without worth, she warned. Mother Ife introduced her. This is Ava, protector of the lost. She tests all who seek refuge. Ava tossed Zina a wooden practice blade. Show me your fire. Nerves rattled Zina's knees, but she remembered Ava's challenge. She swung, clumsy, earnest. Ava blocked easily, then nodded. You have spark. We'll fan it to flame. That night, by a modest fire, a bandaged young man sat cross-legged, humming softly. I'm Hope, he said, tapping his blindfold. I see things in dreams. Hope's calm eased Zina's weariness. Yet as stars wheeled overhead, Hope jolted upright, face pale. I dreamt of black wolves with blue eyes, he gasped, and soldiers in onyx masks. They comfort the girl with red beads. A hush fell. Ava tightened her grip on her swords. Mother Ife sprinkled protective chalk. In a circle, Zina stared into flames. Then let them come, she whispered. I will not hide ever again. Far away, in the mirror-lit throne room, Queen Amara traced a new crack snaking across the obsidian glass. The child escapes, the mirror hissed. Amara's eyes hardened like frozen emerald. Send the shadow hounds, she commanded. Hunt her to the edge of the world. And beneath the whispering trees of Ogbono, the first embers of rebellion flickered to life. Morning mist drifted over the camp as Ava barked orders. Positions. Sword high, feet steady. Zina struck a practice post again and again, wrists aching. Ava circled. You swing like you still apologize. Make each cut speak. Zina exhaled, slashed harder, which splintered. Ava's stern face cracked into the briefest smile. Better. Keep that fire. Soon frightened villagers arrived, smoke-stained, barefoot, eyes wide. A gray-bearded farmer stepped forward. Queen Amara burned our homes. We heard the true heir hides here. If it's a lie, say so. Zina climbed a fallen log, heart thudding. I am Zina Daniel, daughter of Queen Grace, she said, voice shaking, then steady. Amara fears our unity. I promise only this. I will stand and I will fight beside you. Silence held. Then the farmer knelt. One by one the crowd followed. Hope, the blind dream-seer whispered. Belief just found its voice. That night wind died, and even insects fell quiet. Hope's bandaged eyes snapped open. Shadow hounds, he hissed. From a tree line poured wolf-shaped darkness. Bodies of smoke, eyes burning blue. Behind them marched soldiers in onyx masks. Ava lifted her blades. Circle formation. Mother Ife scattered white chalk, chanting. The powder flared into a thin ring of pale fire. A hound leapt to flames. Zina met it midair, dagger flashing. Smoke turned to solid flesh long enough for steel to bite. The beast burst into ash. They can bleed, she cried. Courage rippled through the rebels. Battle raged. Swords clanged, cries echoed. A hound slammed Hope to the ground, claws at his throat. Zina sprinted, plunging her dagger between its eyes. Black vapor sprayed. but not before poison talons raked Hope's chest. He fell limp. Seeing their captain wounded, soldiers hesitated. Ava struck 2 down. The rest fled into the forest deeper dark. Hope's breathing was faint. Mother Ife knelt by a moonlit stream. Shadow poison drags a spirit toward a mirror dream, she warned. She pressed a smooth river stone into Zina's palm. Cast it past the veil. Call him back. Zina closed her eyes. Inside her mind, countless mirrors showed the tower girl. Small, helpless. The reflection sneered. You are still weak. She clenched her coral beads. No, I have grown. She hurled the stone into the water. The surface cracked like silver glass. Within the ripples, Hope's dim figure appeared. Follow my voice, Zina pleaded. We still need your dreams. Hope stepped onto the bank. The water heeled behind him. He gasped alive. You shine brighter now, he whispered. Ava sheathed her swords. So does our enemy's anger. Far away, Queen Amara glared at her mirror. New fractures crawled across the obsidian. The child survives, the glass hissed. Amara's lips twisted. Then we set the forest on fire. Ready to flame riders. At dawn, Zina addressed the swollen camp. Survivors, fighters, children with soot-blackened cheeks. Every village Amara burns adds another ember here, she said, lifting her sword. We will train harder, grow stronger. And when we march, the mirror will face all of us. A roar of hope thundered beneath the ancient trees. Wind rushed through Ogbono, as if the ancestors themselves whispered, onward. A hush fell over Ogbono as the great Irako drum sounded 3 slow beats. Ava signaled that the rebels were ready. Smoke from breakfast fires curled above hundreds of determined faces. Farmers gripping spears. Traders holding cooking pot shields. Children carrying water skins. Zina walked the line in a tunic dyed ash gray. Her coral beads glowed like embers at twilight. She spoke softly to each cluster of fighters. Courage is quiet. Let it sit inside you like warm soup. Stand for those who cannot stand with us. Remember, fear feeds Amara. Faith starve her. At midday, Ava raised both swords. Today we leave the woods. Tonight we reclaim the sky. Cheers rolled through the trees. Dayo scouted ahead, bow taut. A winding aqueduct, cracked and half buried, snaked toward distant stone walls. He waved the column forward. Palace Road is guarded, he told Zina, but the old water tunnel is clear. We travel unseen. Rebels crawl through the moss-slick channel, muddy, cramped, silent. Above them, flame riders gallop the main road, torches trailing smoke. Mother Ife's chalk sigils masked the rebels' heat, fooling the hunters' fiery eyes. When night fell, they emerged near a dry riverbed. Ekeora's walls towered ahead, moonlight glinting on iron spikes. Zina knelt, pressing her palm to the cracked earth. Mother, guide our steps. A warm pulse flowed up her arm. The beads answered with a faint red shimmer. Inside the city, secret allies prepared a distraction. At first light, a market woman leaped atop her yam stall and shouted, "The girl with red beads lives." Vendors banged pots. Children hurled paint at Amara's banners. Soldiers rushed to break up the riot, leaving the palace gates thinly manned. Outside, Dayo pried open a storm grate, his old escape route. One by one, the rebels slipped into shadowed passages. Torches were wrapped in cloth to hide their glow. Footsteps echoed like distant rain. Within the palace lower corridors, black vines pulsed along the walls, Amara's magic breathing like a living thing. Zina's heart hammered, yet each familiar stone also whispered, "Welcome home." 2 palace guards rounded a corner. Ava met them with silent steel. Zina followed, parrying a clumsy strike and disarming the taller guard. He backed away, eyes wide. "Go," Zina said. "Tell the others to lay down arms before more blood falls." The guard fled. They climbed servant stairs to a balcony that overlooked the throne hall's great doors, carved ivory now veined with cracks. Mother Ife placed chalk on Zina's brow. "Remember whose blood sings in your veins. Speak with their thunder." From beyond the doors echoed a cold, crystalline voice. "Enter, child of beads. I have polished a mirror for you." Zina inhaled, We go together, she told her companions. Ava shoved the doors. The hall was unrecognizable. Pillars wrapped in thorny vines, spirits flickering like trapped candle flames. At the far end, Queen Amara stood in an obsidian gown, cracked mirror hovering beside her like a dark moon. Zina advanced 3 steps. You stole my father and chained this land in fear. I've come to break those chains. Amara's laugh rang like shattering glass. You bring peasants and hope? I wield centuries of reflections. She gestured. The mirror brightened, showing a swirling storm of terrified faces. Dayo whispered, Belief weakens a glass. Hold your ground. Shadows surged from Amara's fingertips, racing across the floor. Zina lifted her sword. Red light from the beads wrapped the blade, meeting darkness with a hiss. The hall trembled, dust falling like gray snow. Steel clashed, magic crackled, and for an instant Zina saw a hairline fracture streak across the mirror's surface, just enough to know it could break. The rebels tightened their circle around her, hearts pounding. The final storm had begun, and the fate of Ekeora balanced on the edge of a single glowing bead. The throne hall roared like a storm trapped indoors. Queen Amara hurled blades of shadow. Black vines lashed pillars, spraying stone dust. Zina gritted her teeth, meeting each strike with red-lit steel. Every clash echoed like a drumbeat of destiny. Is this your courage, child? Amara taunted, voice sharp as ice. Kneel, and I might spare your spark. Zina stepped forward instead. I was small only in your mirror. She parried, sliding close enough to see the cracks spidering across Amara's once flawless face. The sorceress flinched. Behind Zina, Ava and the rebels kept the palace guards at bay. Mother Ife traced glowing sigils on the floor, sealing the hall so no soldier could escape or interfere. Dayo broke through a knot of vine-armored sentries, tossing Zina a dagger whose riverstone blade gleamed blue. Amara thrust her hand into the mirror. Dark mist coiled around her arm, swelling into a massive spear of glassy night. Your beads or your breath, choose, she hissed, launching the spear. Zina rolled aside. The spear exploded against a column, shattering statues of old kings. She rose, beads blazing brighter than ever, and pointed the riverstone dagger at the mirror. Amara's smile wavered. You dare! I claim what you stole, Zina replied. She raised her voice so every rebel could hear. Beauty is light inside us. No mirror decides our worth. A murmur of assent swept the hall, then a cheer. The mirror flickered, faces of trapped souls pressing against the glass. Their eyes begged for dawn. Hope, leaning on a fallen shield, shouted, They hear you. Give them your light. Zina drew a deep breath and began the ancestral chant Mother Ife had taught her. Heart to heart, flame to flame, let stolen spirits rise again. Rebels joined in, even shaken guards mouthed the words. With each verse the mirror's shine dulled, fractures widening like lightning across its surface. Amara shrieked, clutching her temples. Silence! I command you! A final crack split the mirror from crown to base. Zina dashed forward, leapt onto the dais, and drove the riverstone dagger straight into the heart of the glass. Crack! A burst of white gold light flooded the throne hall, warm as sunrise after endless night. The mirror exploded into glittering shards. Phantom silhouettes streamed upward, dissolving into gentle motes that drifted through broken windows and out to the waiting sky. Amara staggered, her obsidian gown turning to rags, youth draining from her like water from a broken jar. She fell to her knees. I was beauty, she rasped. Zina lowered her sword, compassion and resolve mingling in her eyes. Real beauty never needed your mirror. Amara crumbled into dust that the returning breeze swept away. Silence, then thunderous cheers. Weapons clattered to the floor as former enemies knelt. Dayo clasped Zina's shoulder. Ava raised both swords in salute. Mother Ife placed a simple coral circlet on Zina's brow. Rise! Queen Zina, restore her balance, the priestess proclaimed. Zina faced the open doors. Light poured in, painting the ruined hall gold. We rebuild, she announced. Every village, every heart. No child will fear their own reflection again. Outside, Bells rang and children tied fresh red beads around their wrists. Artists began sketching a new mural. A young queen standing amid mirror shards, coral glowing against her skin. That night, Zina walked the palace gardens barefoot, feeling earth pulse beneath her toes. She looked up at a sky free of shadows and whispered, "Thank you, Mother. The light lives on." And on the wind came a soft reply, half memory, half miracle. "Shine, my daughter, shine."
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of my content.